somewhat live from the Beer to Whiskey Studios high atop Barley's Tap Room on Washington Street in downtown Greenville, South Carolina. I'm Russ Heaps, and welcome to this episode of Big John and Five. That's where I get my good buddy, Big John Richards, at the other end of the table here, the dais, to pick a beer from one of Barley's 72 or so taps.
Is this the dais or is that the dais?
This is the dais.
This is the dais.
Pick a beer from one of Barley's 72 or so taps. We sniff it, we sip it, we kibitz about it. We talk a little bit about the brewery. John even throws in some brewing history occasionally. And today we're quite honored to have with us Josh Beebe, who is the Queso Grande here at Barley's. He also owns the Trapdoor, which is a Belgian beer place underneath here, and the Burrow, which is in the outskirts of Greenville. And as you can see, I have no control over what's going on here at all anymore. But anyway, having covered all that ground, John, what do we have
It's quick
here?
this time, too. This thing went off the rails in like half a beer. So for our second half of beer, we have another big one in front of us here. We got our hands on some Bell's Expedition Stout, which is their once-a-year Imperial Stout. I think this clocks in at 10.5. Yeah, thanks. Big, inky.
How would you grade him so far?
He's doing pretty good.
Okay, all right.
So.
I like it pretty good. I'll take it pretty good every day.
You know what? I'll give you a pretty good plus.
Hey, sweet. So we the other half of beer that I mentioned that got us here already was the was a 14.5 or 13.5 percenter. So we've switched. We've gone down now to sort of spare ourselves a little bit, to a regular Imperial Stout. But I bring that up to mention we were just talking about aging beers, and this one's a fresh.
It is
Fresh Imperial Stout. So,
and speaking of which, we do have some of the barrel aged Expedition in the cellar right now. So.
Nice.
So yes, we do have some of this aging.
That's what we call a teaser in the business.
But yeah, I think we get allocated 2 kegs this year. This is the second one. We blew our one downstairs last week, and we're into this one this week. So
Excellent. So we're gonna jump in and see what this 10% is doing for us, and see if we can come to a consensus that we need to put a little age on this, or if it's ready to drink right now.
Typically, in years past, this is one that you could go either way with, but it's definitely never been offensive enough that it needs to be laid down.
Right.
This is personally one I'd prefer probably fresh. Oh, we almost screwed that up there, man.
Oh my goodness.
Text Miss Lily.
There's a lot of roast on that
Oh
this
my
year.
God, it's bitter as fuck. Can I say that on here? Yeah, good. It's bitter as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that definitely doesn't need laying down because it's not going to do anything to the bitter. That is a bitter Expedition.
Yeah.
I love it. That is big coffee.
That is roasty as it can be. It's bread crust and espresso.
Just super bitter on the outside of your tongue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even the caramel tastes perfect.
Yeah, that's different than what I always remember it. But it's delicious. And again, I mean, we were talking about.
It is good.
We were talking about should or shouldn't we lay it down. What I love about this beer and why I say it doesn't. Laying this down is going to soften some of that bitterness.
Right.
Definitely. But the alcohol
There's
is
no
not
alcohol burn
offensive
there at all.
at all. And some really, really good breweries like Bell's typically are, I'm not saying anyone's different, but there's certain beers out there that just can be in that 12, 13% range and just drink like they're 6%, So.
Well, and that's one of the things that Bell's is great at doing is putting out beer that's ready to drink when it lands in your lap, and they're just they've always been good at it. Hop slams that way.
Okay?
I'm gonna
Wasn't it? Yeah, just get it right. Wasn't it hop slam that we used to mix with this and create the world's best black and tan?
It
wasn't too hearted.
No, we did. Yeah, this is bad.
Yeah.
It was the night we were launching Dogfish Head, and we just happened to have this on tap. And so
Oh, was this a 90-minute?
no, it was 120. We got Expedition and 120 and blended them together.
All right.
And then the wheels fell.
that's what it
completely
was.
Off. Yes, that was done in this bar once before. We got a bottle
That's-
of 120 and a bottle of Expedition, and
So-
we blended them, and it was deliciously. I can't tell you.
So
I think it was delicious.
Ultimately, the
I feel like
90-minute
I remember it
challenge-
being delicious.
Ultimately, the 90-minute challenge is your fault.
No, 90-minute challenge had nothing to do with me. I plead the fifth. No, I was against it all the whole way, which is why you idiots went next door and did it. And then Jeff got fired on his day off. So let's just not go there.
How do you get fired on your day off?
It's a feat.
Do the 90-minute challenge and then come to work when your boss is having one of the worst days of his life. That'll do it pretty quick.
They'll do
I
it.
guess.
Got him arrested too. But that's a different story for another time. Back to Expedition.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Can I say something? I got 2 or 3 things I got to say. Every time I sit on this panel, we always seem to be drinking a Bell's beer.
Yes.
And we always seem to be talking about how Bell's make some of the cleanest, freshest, most beautiful beer in the world.
And they
they're
still do.
Indeed.
hands down one of the best breweries on the planet.
Yep.
And I deal with a lot of this beer on a daily basis. I've always loved Bell's, but it seems like every time I sit on this panel, which is quite often,
Yeah.
like I said, we drink a Bell's beer, and it just
We
reminds me of how amazing their beers are every time.
we have probably reviewed more Bell's beers than any other single brewery.
And I will.
True.
The second part I would say before I shut my trap is this is my favorite time of the year, because this is when Bell's start producing all their stouts, and their stouts are some of the best in the business, if not the best in the business. Now they produce Kalamazoo all year long. They've got some that are there, but we hit Expedition. Currently, right now, like I said, we blew our first keg downstairs, so we replaced that with the double cream stout, which is hands down one of my favorite stouts.
I think my favorite beer they make.
Yeah, it's incredible.
crazy
So
to
if
say.
you ever get to see it out, grab it. It's one of the best beers. It's just super creamy, super fresh. It's not over the top. It's not imperial. It's like a 6%er, I believe.
Yeah.
Super sesh, but really nice. They've got their cherry stout. They've got the Java. I don't know if they still make all of them, but I mean, there's a run of about, 10 years ago, there were like
was half a
8,
dozen of them,
there
yeah.
was at least 6 or 8 stouts that came out in a row.
Well, we
Limited,
reviewed
and,
the cherry stout.
Yeah,
And
that's
I think
one of
we
my
did double
favorites.
cream ones, but I know we did cherry stout.
But it always starts with Big Daddy,
Right.
which, this is my favorite time of year for Bell's beers.
Still drinking beautifully. Well, this is the best time of the year to be a beer drinker. You come right through Oktoberfest, you're starting to open up into the winter stuff, starting to get spiced beer and some of the other exciting stuff, and everything doesn't taste the same anymore.
And
It's
if
Yeah.
you're in Greenville in January, you've got the biggest little beer fest coming up.
Coming back.
Yep,
right.
coming back.
Missed it last year. Very sad.
last year doesn't count.
Well, but I think we should dub it the 25th anniversary.
Well, no, this is
Beer
funny.
fest.
So this year is officially Bali's 25th anniversary.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Last year was Biggest Little Beer Fest 10th anniversary, which I don't know where that time went. It flew by. Feels like less because we actually did the first one in November and then realized we needed to do it in January. So I think we squeezed the first 2 in quickly.
Oh, really?
But we missed last year, but last year would have been the 10th anniversary. So this year will be the 11th, 10th anniversary
I like
Biggest
it.
Little Beer Fest.
Should call it 11th.
We're back. The 11th.
Outstanding. You have no clue what a great event this is, and it's all done. It's indoors. It's they restrict the number of people. You've got to get a ticket ahead of time, and it's not crowded. It's not overcrowded. It's not nuts, but you have access to basically 2 floors of domestic beers here,
Yeah.
and down in the basement you've got Belgian beers, and it is nuts.
There's
It-
almost as many beers as there are people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is no lie.
And then they have a VIP room. If you're lucky enough to score a VIP ticket, they got a VIP room in the back where they've got 4 or 5 things tapped that nobody else gets to touch. How many?
Six.
6. I'm
You were
sorry.
close.
For the love of God, you're going to call me a liar over one frickin' beer? But they have 6 beers, but nobody who's not a VIP gets to touch it. And it's a beautiful little tasting room back there, and you go back and you just have whatever you want. It's great.
Yeah, we started acquiring beers last week, and we've got some really cool stuff that just came in.
Nice.
So we're getting ready. We're going to try and knock it out of the park this year.
Well, that's exciting.
They took it away from us last year, so
That's right. They can't have it.
this
Damn
year
it.
we're coming back with a vengeance.
Damn it.
So we're excited. We'll have more details about that soon.
And Beer to Whiskey will be here.
Mm-hmm.
We will be here. So, boys,
Let's do it.
Cheers, it got quiet all of a sudden.
Wow.
I know.
You just got to get those clinks in right in front of the mic.
Exactly.
Tanky clanky.
So damn lucky. See you next time.